Hi there. Today we're going to work through a short breath and stretch flow just to kind of get the body moving and a nice stretch in your day. So we'll start with our breath practice. So sit in any comfortable seat. You can always sit on a block. Sometimes lifting the hips up can be just something that feels really nice in the body. So maybe something to explore. We'll allow the hands to rest lightly on the legs and allow the eyes to gently close. And then without looking at this, let's just start to adjust the shoulders over the hips. When I have my hips elevated, I don't feel that I need to move quite as much. My back seems to stack a little more. If I'm sitting on the ground, I almost always have to shift back quite a bit. So just an observation that maybe you make for your own tendencies and just noticing where things stack today. So once you find those shoulders over the hips, we'll think about growing a little taller, feeling a little lighter, and then really rooting into the sit bones, feeling really steady. And then start to notice the breath. Before we change anything, just follow it with your mind. Maybe note the pace of your breath. Notice if you're feeling that rise and fall more in the upper chest or expansion in the low belly or somewhere in between. No judgment. This is an awareness. It's like a body scan, just checking in with where things are. And then we'll notice how we can shift things with the breath. Maybe this is something that you can apply anytime throughout the day when you notice that you would like to shift the breath and shift your attitude, the way that your mental faculties feel, the way your body feels, and you can notice the differences from how we start and how we end. On your next inhale, let's start to lengthen the breath. See if you can stretch that out to our count of 4 or 5. And exhale, match that same length. Allow this to be nice and slow. Inhale, full deep, that count of 4 or 5. And exhale, slow. Take up all the time, that same length from your inhale. Take one more like that. And then we'll start to shift into our box breath. So on your next inhale, we'll inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the top. 3, 2, 1. Exhale all the way out. 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the bottom. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, we're drawing up the side of the box. We hold, closing off the top of the box. Exhale down the other side of the box. And hold the bottom of the box. We're closing it off. Inhale, fill up. Hold at the top. Exhale all the way out, nice and slow. And hold at the bottom. Continue in this box pattern. You now have that freedom to lengthen or shorten each side of the breath, but we'll keep all 4 sides equal. So maybe you start to stretch it out even more to a count of 5 or 6, or shorten it to a count of 2 or 3. Stay with the breath, noticing that counting of each breath, each pause, each moment gives you something to focus on and helps to keep your attention in the present moment. Take 2 more full rounds of this box breath. And as you finish that last round, you can start to bring the breath back to equal inhales and exhales, or maybe start to move into Ujjayi breath. We're shifting that breath up into the upper chest, inhales and exhales through the nose with that little constriction in the back of your throat, as if you could fog a pane of glass with just the inhales and exhales of your breath. And allow the eyes to flutter open. And if you're sitting on any props, we'll just move those off to the side. We'll do a nice stretching flow. If you have your legs crossed, let's just adjust and go to the opposite side just to find a little balance. And then inhale, sweep the arms up really high, reach towards the sky. Exhale, left hand over towards the right knee. Find a twist. You can make this twist as deep or as gentle as you would like. Keep the spine really long, and the neck is gazing a little in front of your shoulder, so keeping that soft. Inhale, rising arms up back towards the front. Exhale, right hand to the left knee. Same thoughts here. Nice long spine. That gaze is in front of the left shoulder. Maybe every exhale, this grows a little bit deeper. Inhale, both arms up, back towards the front. Exhale, let's fold. So I'm going to soften my hands towards the floor and start to then walk them a little bit further. So this might be a small movement, or maybe you lay all the way down, somewhere in between. Again, we're looking for a nice stretch here. It's not about how deep you fold. It's more about finding a little gentle stretch in the outside of your hips. Inhale, walk your hands back towards yourself. Awesome. We'll stretch the right leg out long, left foot to the inside of the right leg, and reach the right hand towards those toes. If you don't reach the toes, it doesn't matter. Just find something along the leg that you can kind of reach for a bit of stability. Left arm goes up and over, then think about opening the chest out. So our gaze is over above our left shoulder, underneath the armpit. And it's more of a side stretch. So the left side is where we should be feeling a little bit of opening as we bend over. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, shift so your shoulders now facing the right foot. And then exhale, release. If you'd like to twist a little bit here, this feels nice for me. My left hand will go to the the outside of the right foot, which just allows me to get a little bit of a counter stretch. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, back through center, and we'll switch sides. So right foot comes to the inside of the left leg. Reach the left hand out towards the toes or anywhere along that leg. Right arm sweeps up and over. Keep the chest open. Gaze goes up underneath the armpit, towards the sky. Feeling that nice stretch down the right side body. Inhale, rise back up. And then shift the shoulders square with the right foot. Exhale, start to fold. That option for the right hand to the outside of the left foot. Little bit of that opposite twist might feel nice. Awesome. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, knees out wide. You could always slide blocks underneath your knees here. And open up your feet so that they're opening up towards the sky, if that's something that's available. Then find that tall spine. Exhale, start to fold. Again, this does not need to be deep. We're looking for that stretch down the inside of the leg. So depending on your current mobility or current flexibility, this might be a little bit different for you. It might be different day to day. Finding the breath, seeing if your exhales can help you to find a bit more space. And inhale, walk your hands back towards yourself. Hands to the outside of the knees. Let's close the knees together like a book and start to lay down on your back. I'll just shift my body over here. Lay down towards your back. Knees come into the chest. Give yourself a really big squeeze and maybe that little rock from side to side. Let's keep the right knee into the chest. Stretch the left leg long in front of you, laying it down on the mat. And then maybe start to shift the knee from side to side, just starting to get into that hip flexor a little bit. Any little crunching, totally normal, not an issue. It's just the body responding a little. And then we'll take this into a twist. So I like to lead with my left hand, guide the knee over towards the left until maybe something lands on the floor. Might feel nice to slide that left hip underneath so we're facing a bit more over towards the left side of the mat. Right arm stretches wide in the opposite direction. That shoulder might be floating, maybe it's grounded. All is good. Think about with your exhales that you maybe sink that right shoulder a little more down towards the mat or allow it to grow heavier like it could sink into the mat. Finding your breath. On your next inhale, we'll roll back until we're flat on the back. Adjust yourself on the mat. And then left knee comes in, right leg stretches out long. Let's find those little movements from side to side, kind of getting into that left hip here. And we'll guide everything over to the right. So I like to lead with my right hand here. Start to guide the knee over until something lands, and then maybe slide that right hip underneath, just deepening that a bit more. Left arm stretches wide in the opposite direction. And then come back to the breath, using your exhales just to allow you to sink a little deeper. On your next inhale, roll back onto your back. Feet will plant, adjust your back until everything is flat. And then feet to the sky, happy baby, hands to the outside of the feet, or peace fingers and thumbs to the big toe. If you're feeling particularly stiff, this is a great place to go. It just gives you more space. And then those movements from side to side, you can start to take one leg towards straight and then the other. Happy baby, right? So this should make you smile a little. It should feel good. And then we'll allow the hands to release, come to the back of the hamstrings, and then start to rock and roll up and down the spine a few times. Feel that massage. And then eventually we're going to meet in a tabletop. You're just going to cross the ankles, roll yourself forward, and then adjust yourself on the mat. In our tabletop shape, let's take some nice cat-cow. So on your inhale, belly drops low. Think about shifting your chest through the arms, gaze goes up. Exhale, tuck the tailbones, arch that spine, then the chin comes all the way down towards the chest. Inhale, belly low. Flick that tailbone in the opposite direction, gaze goes up. Exhale, arch the spine, chin to chest. Let's take one or two more here with your own breath, your own pace. Timing does not need to be the same as me. And then as you're ready, tuck your toes, walk the hands out just about a handprint, and lift the hips to the sky. We're in our downward facing dog. So make this feel nice. Remember, this is always about the upper body. So we want to find that nice straight line from the hands to the hips. Think about melting the chest back to the thighs and nice generous bend in the knees. You can pedal out the feet, shift the hips from side to side. And then super lazily starting to walk yourself towards the top of the mat. We're coming into Uttanasana or forward fold. Maybe you release the head and find that bind opposite hand to opposite elbow. Find a little sway here. Feel the legs, starting to wake them up just a tiny bit more. Let's release the hands, let them float back down towards the mat, and then roll yourself up to stand. When your spine is nice and long, arms sweep out, palms touch overhead. Exhale, bow forward all the way back down, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, release. Plant the hands, step all the way back to plank. Option here to lower the knees. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale, cobra, lead with the back. Press those toes into the mat. Exhale, release. Press yourself back. Find your way into downward facing dog. And we'll start to make our way back towards the top of the mat, coming into our Uttanasana one more time. Inhale, roll yourself up. And then when you're standing, sweep the arms out wide, palms touch. Exhale, bow forward all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. This time, right foot steps back, coming into a low lunge. Use your inhale to rise. Arms are up. Exhale, sink down. Start to feel into the hips. Allow a little space for them to open. Maybe, see, I'm pulsing just a little bit here, right? Just allowing the hips to open nicely, giving them a little physical feedback, moving the feet any amount as the hips open just a little. And then hands to the mat. Left foot steps back. You can lower down to the belly, or maybe this time you bend the elbows, find upward facing dog. And then shift back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps up, right into the other side. Inhale, rise the arms. Exhale, sink. So similar movements here, right? If those pulses felt nice to help you open up the hips, let's find that. You can always find stillness. And then hands come to the mat. Let's slide the right foot back. We're back in our tabletop shape, shifting the hips from side to side. And then start to walk the hands back towards the knees. We're coming in to sit on the heels just for a moment. Notice the shoulders back over the hips. Can you find that tall spine? Slowing the breath back down. Let's shift the hips to one side, feet to the other, just coming into any comfortable seat. I'm just going to face back towards you, but just stay exactly where you are. Awesome. We'll bring the hands to heart center. Let's take 2 rounds of breath together just to close out our practice. Start with an exhale, empty out. Inhale through the nose. Side out through the mouth. Ha. One more. Inhale. Sigh it out. Ha. Awesome. We'll start to bow forward, sealing our practice together. You can blink your eyes open and return to the space. Thank you for practicing with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day.